We are starting with Apple's challenges, though, with Apple scrambling to make changes to its watch software as the company faces a Christmas deadline to halt U.S. sales. That's according to a report by Bloomberg. Engineers are specifically focused on a feature that measures a user's blood oxygen level, with fixes only applying to the Series 9 and Ultra 2 models. This comes after Apple lost a patent infringement dispute with medical device maker Masimo back in October. Rochelle, taking a look at where Apple shares have been trading, we have seen a bit of a bounce back. Even yesterday on the back of the news, not a significant decline. It's important to keep all this in context, of course, because we're talking about Apple Watches, just two models that are affected here. When you look at the wearables overall for Apple, that accounts for roughly 10% of revenue. Apple Watches are just a part of that. So we're not talking about a significant hit, but certainly not good timing when you think about how many people are looking to buy these watches leading up to the holidays.
Absolutely. And when you think of the potential outcomes from here, I mean, could they come up with a customs workaround? The company that's suing them is saying we don't think that's sufficient. A potential last-minute veto by the White House in time to perhaps avert that ban as well. They could settle with the company, also very unlikely given the very small window that they have between now and the Christmas break. So I'm not sure how this is going to get managed. I'm not sure if Apple is going to be able to do enough other than just having to halt sale of these watches to try and alleviate some of these concerns. But as you mentioned, important context, watches clearly not the main meat and potatoes for Apple, but it does speak to some of the issues when you see some of these smaller companies holding big companies like Apple to task, especially as more companies see a lot of crossover in patents and in the health space as well when it comes to their technology.
Yeah, and Rochelle, Bloomberg reporting that Apple's looking at a software fix right now, but there's questions about whether, in fact, that will put them in line with Masimo, essentially, whether it is a hardware fix. If that's the case, that's something that could take a little longer as well. And the timeline, to be clear here, we're talking about Apple taking those specific models, two models, offline on Thursday, and then taking those watches out of their brick and mortar stores on Christmas Eve. So there's only a few more days left here for Apple to come into compliance, and certainly a lot of questions about whether, in fact, they can make that happen.
It's true. I'm seeing some on social media saying, hey, look, this is your chance to rush and get some before they halt sales. But I'm not sure if people are going to be rushing to do that. It's not cheap, to say the least, these two new models as well.